results against the likes of Made in Brazil. In fact, just a week ago, they won that one. But with that said, enough pontificating. We are heading into the action, off to the ruins of Ancient to start off this spat of best of ones. I was going to say the series, but again, 2 best of ones. Not a series of 2 maps. It is a single best of 1 followed by another best of 1 that cannot be on the same map. And we are live. Knife round occurred. Galorys are starting on the CT side. Solid on the T. Not sure who selected to start where. Kind of just up to our own conjecture. But either way, both teams should be, as we talked about, more than ready to play this match.
Yeah, big opportunity right now, like we said, Solid. Definitely in a good position to find themselves potentially this. But again, we have to see if they're going to be able to have a strong T side. Folksman now, he's got the dualies, but it's just going to be the one and done. Okay, so now Solid are getting themselves a little bit of footing here. They're in Donut. Now they're going to be able to get themselves in this A site, but you got to worry about the CTs. They've already made their way in for the rotates. Look at how fast they're going to go for this. They're going to get the flash in. Oh my gosh, they're just going to go right for the planter, and oh no, that is becoming a bit of a problem. Glocks are starting to make their connections, just leaving it to Happs and Ninjas now by themselves. This is not a good position for them to be in.
No, they threaded the needle perfectly to drop the bomb planter, but the Glock at close range gets a 2-for-1 in response. Securing at this point the round, depending on how GBB fares, he finds the first up close and personal Happ. The last alive Ninja, we talked about him, not the best individually, but he has an opportunity. No, LCM covering CSO's retreat and reload. And with that, pistol round goes the way of Solid. 1-0, good start. Galorys putting a lot in that player towards Donut, relying on him to find ideally more than one with the dualies up close and personal, if they were only able to find that single kill to start things off.
And the one thing that we got to make a note about here too, like, I mean, obviously stats are going to say one thing, right? But at the same time, like a team like Solid, they have a 56.3% win rate on their T side on this map. When we kind of talk on the opposite here, for a map that's not very favorable for Galorys right now, I mean, this is their strongest side with 43.8. So this is kind of going against the strength against strength. So we're going to have to see how well they're going to go against each other. These pistols are actually doing a little bit more work than I think that we wanted to see here, and Solid have already lost 2 bodies. This is not a great situation. They are going to be able to get this bomb on the site, but again, this is becoming very expensive. Even LCM in a position here with the P250. This is not great because now you got the AK picked up here, the Mac 10 for Happ. This is a doable situation if they want to go for it. But even if they save Pineapple, I think this is a good call.
Saving the AK at least would definitely be a fruitful decision. He also has that piece of utility on the belt. $300 is not trivial. It looks like he might have just thrown it to block these players in the site. Yes, he has. I like this idea from Galorys. They're not committing, but they're not going for a super safe save either. They put a rifle on one side and they put the Mac on the other to try and hold against this exit. No. Ninja can need a little bit more support towards red doors. LCM gets the AK, another kill, and those 3 will survive. It was an interesting idea from Galorys to just put the economic pressure on them by forcing Solid to lose a player or 2 on the exit. But unfortunately, the execution was not there. 3 survived, the AK's dropped, but hey, Galorys, they can still invest. No harm, no foul. It was an interesting idea. There are some concerning caveats to this round, to this investment. They're lacking some utility on the CT side, and they're also lacking a kit.
Yeah, they are. That's going to be really important, and I'm glad you brought that up because, again, even like the head armor being purchased a little bit here twice from the CTs, that's some money that could have been used potentially for those kits, but they grabbed the mid control. Nothing going to be entertained here from Solid. They're actually going to be able to have that B ramp control, so this is not bad because, again, the CTs, I was wondering if they were going to try to go for that control as well, but instead they just crunch mid, just leaving it to Hoax by himself so far. And Solid are just kind of playing a retake setup right now. GBB trying to do something big by himself on the catwalk, gets taken out, so again, the player that we were, watching here, the player to watch essentially is removed, but the op is still into effect right now for LCM.
It is. Although hits him, that's very unfortunate. Force him back. Ninjas immediately takes the map control in response. CSO finding an opening, an opportunity perhaps towards Donut, and yet Ninjas drops LCM to maintain that main advantage. 2, racing up Donut now. It's just Koala here. He's back towards spawn, but up close still to swing if needed. Steps heard. Good kill on the first. A nice re-aggression to find the second. xurebaa not expecting that swing, leaving just Koala alone coming through a main dink and done. Happ, does him in. Galorys get on the round with get a round on the board, excuse me.
Mhm.
A very convincing and needed clean rifle round victory.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like Solid, like, I didn't mind the fact that they were just kind of waiting things out, letting the CTs just burn a ton of utility, all these things. But again, like, GBB just goes for that fight by himself on Cat. He doesn't have an opportunity for the trade. I feel like that was just kind of sacrificing himself, a big risk that really just didn't pan out at all. But that's a really clean round that we saw from Galorys. Like, they only lost one person, kept 4 alive. Now they have an op as well for Detroit. This is big. And now Solid, again, they have to refight for this mid control. Hoax now is going to get pushed back a little bit. Good utility setup coming in from the T's, and damage is coming in a little bit, but okay, mid's going to be grabbed now from Solid. But it's a question of what they want to do with this, because now you can see the CTs switching up their composition with a 2-1-2. Double players here in CT spawn and also in red, just kind of waiting things out. That Molly might have just missed in time. It's not going to make the connection for the noise, but now Happ, the first player to find this. Ninjas does get taken out. Oh my goodness, the MAC-10. It finds something big.
Double up, and that forces Detroit back onto a defensive pop. They'll still swing for one. Isolate that first duel, and Koala wise to the flank finds another. So it was an opportunity for Solid to win a round on a scrappy guy. Might just slip away out of their fingers. Koala with the nade finds one, leaving just a MAC-10. Not in xureba's hands, but rather in LCM's. He does get the first, but he can't double up like his compatriot. He'll be dropped at the second hurdle. And Galorys will secure a bloodier, it's still a second round in a row to tie things up. The op should be recovered here shortly. I believe it's towards long. There it is. It's in Hoax's hands. Koala snooping around for utility, trying to scrounge whatever dollars they can out of this round to build up that CT economy. Solid. Got the bomb plant to give them a little bit of extra cash, but they should not be able to justify an investment in round number 5. Should be pistols and at most Kevlar for the offensive.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, it's a good point you brought up. You know, getting the bomb down is going to be good just for the money getting built up a little bit. But yeah, these post plants are becoming a bit of a problem, right? A bit of a nuisance right now for Solid. But again, can't take anything away from Galorys right now. They're doing a great job on the retakes. Their CT side, like I talked about, is statistically their best side on this map, despite their 4-15 record on it. So we're kind of getting that glimpse of, you know, how well they can be on this. And now you can see Solid once again just push back in mid, waiting outside of B main. They just don't have any map control for the time being. And even now Galorys, they're actually starting to just kind of do these individual pushes. Ninja's playing a very aggressive angle on Cave. This isn't even that bad. They should be aware that it is going to be pistols, but again, Flash comes in, doesn't make the connection. A lot riding here. XRB needs to be able to find something big here with the Galil. Oh, the spam is so nice. This is a good moment for Solid to maybe reconsider their thoughts.
Yeah, it's a half buy. Really can't expect too much from them. They don't have much utility to go for an actual execute proper. Relying on Ninjas to give away the duels, for example. Ninjas is not playing alone. He has the jump up support, and he also has a secondary support from Happ in towards Cave. It's very well read from Galorys. They know it's likely going to be a B play, especially with Koala finding that lone player over towards A. At this point, the question is, can Solid get a bomb plant in the chaos?
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be big for the money, right? Like, just despite everything right now. Oh my, ooh, that was so close. Ninja's lucky to be alive. Okay, double player Cave again. Now trying to go for the swing. Man, that's big. That's a nice connect. And even Happ takes some big damage here too. So this is not easy. Very wounded. But now these teams are coming in one by one. This is not what you want. But the P250 finds just one little consolation prize. Okay, yeah, double kills, not really going to be too much. Bob still in the rotation, but Galorys now going to put themselves back in the lead.
The first time they're in the lead. 3 rounds in a row. But not too much of a CT economy to speak of as of yet. They might be able to resist one loss, but still, not a bunch of money in the bank, all things considered. Solid, though, also bearing some economic pains. They have a Galil on GBB, for example, the player we highlighted as potentially a sink or swim player for Solid. Of course, again, mid-control emphasis, but they're not going for mid-control. They're actually using it as an opportunity to take control of Snake. 2 players, Ninjas and Happ, both getting control. Now having to watch 2 different angles, though, that makes it difficult to smoke. Will prevent GBB from aggressing, though. Allah.
Oh, he just walked through it.
Looks right through it, looks towards ramp. Duel's going over towards A, but that's just a distraction. Happ walking forward, knows it could be here, but misses the opportunity. GBB, an opener, and now the B side taken. They know that the bulk of the control is put towards Snake. Cave, they just race in towards B. GBB getting control, is traded, still damage done in control. At this point, consolidated. Ala dropping the ninjas, leaving just Detroit and Hoax. Try and do something, but it seems like they're just going to try to save at this stage. No real chance in this round. Galorys, their 3-round streak has finally been ended.
Yeah, this is a really nice execute that came in from Solid. Again, nothing super flashy, nothing, out of the ordinary, just very basic, right? And like you said, LA just comes through the door, through smoke. They double swing the player that was playing aggressive on Snake or on the B ramp. Okay, the op's going to get taken out here too. So this is just a very basic, just, kind of frag out. Not much utility, not much you have to worry about in terms of like execute. It's just run a gun, find something, and it works out very, very nicely. Oh no. Oh no, and that's even worse. Okay, well, nothing going to be saved here for the CT side. That's going to be a little bit worse for wear. There is some money where they could put some rifles on this if they want, but again, Nate, I don't know if I would even attempt that idea.
No, I mentioned it. Their economy was still very frail, and the fact that all 5 fall means that there's no real chance for them to invest in any realistic capacity. They can get 2 pistols on the players who are a little bit better off. Deagle for Hoax, CZ for Detroit. Another Deagle for Koala as well. Just had a solid individual start. Zeus could also pull some shenanigans, but for the most part, this should be a solid round through and through.
Yeah, you never know though. Again, all it takes is somebody to find like a double kill with the pistol, and things could just get a little bit weird, a little bit chaotic maybe, but now mid control is going to be up for grabs right now for the CT side. Again, all these players from Solid are just sitting in the site, just waiting things out. This is not easy, and I think it's even, if I'm not mistaken, it is just going to be xurebaa right now. Solid's with the AK, just trying to get maybe a little bit overwhelmed. Oh no, they're peeking 1 by 1. A little bit of a frag stash, get himself a triple. Why not? Okay. Solid put themselves at 4, and honestly, pretty good situation to be in. Only losing 1 player thus far. Assuming this player can stay alive with 9 HP, that's going to be not a bad stay here for Solid.
No, very solid for them. Laying the groundwork for what should be a solid T-side economy. Bomb goes off. Hoax will save a Deagle. Won't get that drop rifle. And Solid regain a lead, 4-3. Galorys, though, back on a bye, heading into round number 8. Past that halfway point of the first half at this stage. Op for Detroit, yet again a factor. Looks like it will be M4s on the rest of the squad. Koala probably has a gun on the ground if I had to guess. Solid. Early mid-smoke, perhaps challenge for control.
Yeah, at least it's something though. Good HE. Okay, that's actually really good just again for any players that are trying to be very aggressive on that one side of the wall. Again, look at Galorys. They just do the same thing over and over. They have the one player just committing to mid. A couple players now from Solid just in back of B main. They fight for that B ramp control and they get it. So this is a lot of real estate right now for the CT side. But Ninja's falling down this early. That's problematic here because you're just leaving the one player anchored, which is going to be Koala by himself in this A site. Double player in mid. Another player pushed up on B ramp. So the jig is up here. Like, Galorys should have full information here that, yes, they should be coming towards this A site, but they're kind of still posted up here, Nate. It's a little bit awkward.
And the rotations are abysmally long from this position. They're aggressed on B. Very long rotations back through. Let's want to go challenge in towards the middle, and they don't know if there's a player lurking in that area. Koala, volleyed out back of sight, does well to at least find the kill before falling away. No maintain presence in towards CT to prevent any over-aggression from Solid, but Koala needs to buy time for this retake to come through. Hoax the donut flashes in, and there's the bait and switch.
Oh my goodness!
Smoke threads the gap, this time to much more success. He dinks LCM as well as finding a pair. 3 versus 2, Ala and LCM both lit. Detroit wins the Opera's duel, finally getting to see one of those come through and proper. Leaves just Ala. He's towards the sign, towards the jump up. Very far removed from the bomb, and with only 20 seconds left, he's just holding in hopes that someone peeks CT spawn. The issue is, no one's even close to that position. He'll swing into players here. Punches the Opera, doesn't quite get the kill, and Hoax is there to support on the overswing. Back to a tied ball game as Galorys pass the hurdle and regain control of the driver's seat.
Man, that's such an impressive round from Galorys. Again, like, Koala kind of, you know, again, finding the triple kill obviously puts him in a great position as, like, the MVP of that round. But just like you were kind of touching on is the fact that he found that first duel when the Molotov kind of came on the back box, finds that kill, flies into the smoke, gets out, waits patiently, and then the flash from Detroit was insane. That allowed him to just go right through it like a smoke criminal, gets himself a double too. Man, oh man, that's kind of the teamwork we wanted to see. That's where we talked about, you know, they've had a lot of experience on this team playing this map. The record may not show it, but that was a very well coordinated attempt on this. And now, again, we're seeing that even Solid are trying to refight for this mid control. They're not successful with it. GBB by himself in this spot before. He might be able to find something, but he does creep himself into Cat. Hoax now might get overwhelmed here with numbers. He's going to be going to a fight. Oh, the beautiful shot takes down Detroit. So now the op's going to be removed. Oh, but Hoax, he's got to get out of here. This is a terrible position for him to be in. He's already down to 32 HP, and this is looking like a decent setup coming in from Solid.
Yes, it is. They're finally playing back. Galorys take mid-control with only one player. They're relying on that snake support, that support from outside Jaguar, and he just wasn't present at that point in the round. Very well played from Solid to re-aggress, control the commanding area of middle, and of course to win their duels. Hoax and Koala, no choice but to try and save. They're both towards A. Solid already know that. I don't think Solid are too keen on hunting. CSO might try to find a rifle, and everyone should try to save, build up that T-side economy, which is so easy to snowball.
Yeah, it's so close. Yeah, but Solid back in the lead, like you said. And I mean, the fact that Galorys can now set themselves in a position to save those double rifles, again, such a good point you bring up because it's so important. And especially with the money situation that we're sitting in right now, not great at all. I mean, Detroit's able to force up, you know, the $3,500, but again, your last two players are essentially just going to be pistols and utility and trying to put those rifles into full effect right now. But timeout's going to be called, and I think this is a very good opportunity for it. The scoreline's still very competitive, very close, and I think right now for the CTs, they just have to rethink their plan. I mean, they've been doing such a great job just isolating mid, but it kind of seems like that's only the thing they've been doing. Like, they go for that B ramp control, or snake as you call it, but again, I just feel like we need to see something a little bit different now.
Yeah, they only pressure that B extremity. They haven't really done anything towards A. They leave only one in middle. To this point, I think has been figured out by Solid. So an adjustment is definitely in order. Maybe challenge towards Snake or Catwalk, I guess as some people call it, from mid. But a second player there, have one jump up and support from that side. A lot of different changes in minutia that you can change on the side of Galorys. They haven't really been compelled to before now. If Bai's going to be scrappy, probably also a good time to call a timeout right before this kind of forced. 3 rifles, an MP9, and a CZ. No kit, but okay utility. And there we go. We see an adjustment. Still 3 towards B, but 2 are going to be towards middle this time around. Not a player towards A. And that could be the difference maker. There's actually 3 or 4 towards middle with that player coming out of Jaguar. 3. Queen comes in though, and xurebaa passes. First player Catwalk is caught. Ninja is a ninja in the smoke. Good for 1, but everything else is turning out the way of Solid. CSO pressuring the smoke finds that kill at trade. And just Detroit and Happ as the final pair. One's on B, one's heading towards A. 1-1 setup, and be very hard to hold off a take as a solo.
Oh, but Detroit gives his position away, and he's still... What? He still is able to find the double? Okay, all right, yeah. Now bringing it back into an even situation here, which was a 4-on-2 is now turned into the 2v2, and these T's are split apart. They are on opposite sides of the map right now. This is not a good position because, I mean, the bomb is outside in B main. LCM does find that connect, so this is good. Now this should kind of lure Happ to making himself into Donut, getting a little bit closer to A. But this should be the cue right now for Ali to get himself into this B site with the bomb, but he's still kind of hesitating. And LCM just waiting things out, scoping through, making a ton of noise. There it is. That's where the bomb should be making its way. LCM just needs to find this connect, buy some time as much as possible, and there it is. We're down to a 1v1.
2v4. Happ. A lot of map control to make up, though, and Ale is reading it perfectly.
Oh, no.
This should be Happ dead to rights. All but certainly. At this point, does Happ even want to go for it? Does he clear the angle? Yes, he does.
What?
Happ wins the duel! Ale somehow read, in spite of what looked to be a flawless read for the T side, Diffuse will come through, and that round is a round of individuals. When it comes down to it, the team coordination breaks down. It's a double to bring it back to even footing, 2 versus 2, and from there it was a split up. Solid relying on one player to get the information and the second to go for the QB sneak. Much like Galorys in a 2 versus 4, gambled on a player watching A and a player watching B, all on their lonesome. Scrappy one, but one that ends the way of Galorys by virtue of an individual performance in a massive read.
Oh man, and I was thinking like for Ale, like I was hoping that they would actually go on the other side of cave, because you do have that advantage for any players that is going to be entering cave. You get that shadow, so you can kind of see it before they see you. But I mean, play at a different angle. But I just can't believe Happ actually read that perfectly, like just 100% on the test, and did very well in this one. But okay, well, back to an even game, and man, this has just been going back and forth. I just cannot believe that last round. From 42 down to the 1v1, and now this is a moment where Solid, they're going to be kicking themselves a little bit, but at least they got rifles. They got the AKs with the 1 Galil, and it's a bit of a scrappy purchase on both ends, like you talked about. The CTs, they're not looking pretty on the C there. GBB now going to lead the charge, but is he going to expect Ninjas to be this aggressive? And it's also his teammate right behind. No flash to even flush these guys out. Oh no, a shoulder. This is going to be a swing. This should be an easy duel. Oh my goodness, but no! The T's, they coming together, but Happ again finds himself a double. Can he survive? Yes, he will! How does he survive that too?
That's an awkward swing. Spacing for Solid not perfect. You see team damage as they all kind of lined up with each other and trying to get that kill. Detroit in towards cave. Likely to be the next contact as ICM is shoulder peeking. Will he expect to get a third? He will clear it. He will do his due diligence, but Detroit will not let him win the duel. Ale, the last alive. He's going towards long. He has slipped a gap versus Hoax. But how will that gap be exploited with no bomb on his back? That's the question. The answer. 2 found as Detroit exits the cave. The last alive, Koala. He's been an individual star for his team, but he has to do it all. Ale does not know where he might be coming from. Various many angles to watch. It's dirt. Swing from Koala is good, but Ale's shot is better. It's an individual play and performance to rival that of Galorys in the round prior. 6-5, Solid at least guarantee even footing heading into that second half. And they do have a tremendous advantage in round number 12 because of it.
Yeah, that's massive. And okay, and Ale does get himself back into a position for the clutch, where we saw before Happ just eradicated him. So at least he gets a little bit of revenge on him, bringing things back into a lead. So I mean, now this is a situation where Solid are in a position potentially to find themselves maybe at a 7-5. And like we said, this is kind of, you know, fighting fire with fire right now. They're just going to barrel into this B site. They're just going to try to get things done quickly. Good utility damage coming in. This is going to be good for the MP9. The Ninjas now with the 5-7. Oh no! He's missing every shot. This is just becoming a massacre, leaving it down to the 2v1. CSO with 2 HP, but Hoax now with a 5-7, no kit, has to go for a double kill, has to be able to make this connection, and he will not, and that's going to be the end of the first half, a 7-5. We'll see you for the second.
scrappy, chaotic, and tumultuous first half ends with Solid at a tenuous advantage, 7-5. It's Pineapple Phelps and Laz to bring you the action, and Galorys now on the offensive. Smokes lined up for B, a trio waiting with open arms, and putting that kit for Ale. Two smokes as well, one from the T side and one from the CT side towards ramp. There's a lot going on in this round.
Oh man, that info too. Look, even LCM, he's cleared everything on A. He has all the information in the world right now.
All the information, but can he connect the shots? That's the question. He gets the information. Now Galorys know they've been read, and it will likely be stacked towards B. The question is, what is their response? What do they do? Slow things down, try to starve the CTs of information?
Yeah,
they just sit on their hands awkwardly without a clear play in mind. There's a lot of questions. It seems like they're going to sit on their hands for at least another couple seconds, but they have a flash to precipitate a take. The question is, where will that flash be thrown? Or will it be thrown? Because it appears to be a contact play through caves. This area has been abandoned. This could be a good pop on towards B if the shots land.
Yeah, but they're going into a stack though too, right? So this is not a great thing either. Oh wow, CSO, I was gonna say, it does have the kind of the pixel peak on this. Flash is gonna get thrown, lands perfectly, but still two players gonna be in the cup B, and it's just USPs now making connections, and this is just falling apart. Solid to put themselves in a great position right now on a 4-on-1, assuming they don't get themselves up on this. Two players are low, sitting at 6 HP and 3 HP for two of them. This is not a great position. Glock is just running around. Koala hunting, does find one. Not enough bullets in the chamber, and there we go. Solid will get things done. Very nicely coordinated, and I love the composure too. Even the fact that LCM pushed in, got the information, he played the perfect setup, and honestly, Solid, they didn't give up anything.
No, they didn't. They sat on their haunches. Sure, they were holding their ground, but you don't need to be the one to press forward on the CT side. You just have to hold your lines and be confident in your play. Two towards long, one playing anti-flash, and then two in that cubby, as you mentioned, were the real linchpin in that round, really kind of dividing that set of Galorys' two-pronged attack. No bomb plant either, means that it's going to be a save round for Galorys. They have one P250 for Koala. He's the player who's above the rest right now for this T side. They will just walk in A man. There's only one defender here. It's LCM peeking out of Temple, and he will find the first spot a second, but gets dinked. He had no helmet. That means the P250 is a one-shot headshot, and that is a tremendous oversight. Could have knock-on effects in this round.
Yeah, really good. That's a bit of a critical mistake right now. Smoke's going to block things off a little bit, but I think Detroit actually does get spotted here. It's a question if they can just maintain their composure. 4-on-3, still the advantage right now for Solid. CSO trying to lead things off here with the MP9, the positioning from the T's. Just jumping for information. Detroit's just jumping around with the Gazelle in this moment, but Koala does come in big with the double with the M4, now leaving it just down to half. The block needs to be able to find something, but it's just not going to be enough. But honestly, that's still a pretty impressive round, all things considered. They get the bomb down, plus they're able to find that 3K, which is not a bad thing for them to transition into this round 15 now.
Yeah, definitely knock-on effects from that opening kill. The one-shot headshot onto the M4 wielder. The difference between getting away and even finding a third and just falling right there at that doorway. I think the bomb plant was inevitable given the numbers and given the fact that there's only one defender on the site. But if he could just keep that M4 out of their hands, it would have been a far cleaner perspective round for Solid. Unfortunately, not the reality. Don't make that oversight again. They're going to invest. They have full M4s in that one MP9. Galorys, though, the same thing we said, full AK's good utility because of the kills and, of course, that bomb plant in the round prior. This is where they mount their comeback. This is where they begin it. If they lose this round, and more importantly, if they don't get a bomb plant, it'll be 5-10 and likely 5-11 before they get another such opportunity. So the pressure is on. Xurebaa only adding to that mounting pressure. 2 kills for the price of none. A third a possibility as well, as Ninjas has been able to isolate a clean duel. Faded into LCM's crosshair. Happ finally finds some inroads, but he takes so much damage for it. And it feels like Solid knocking on that 10th round at this point, all but guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big play. Detroit has to be able to find something, getting some ground, but again, just nothing. Good utility coming in here from the CT side, a nice bit of a double swing, and leaving it to happen. I mean, in this kind of a situation, you got 50 seconds left. I mean, Solid in a great position with 4 players alive. Honestly, I'm not even against if they try to go for a bit of a hunt on this. It would actually make some sense. Oh, man, they're just going to miss each other, but I mean, if they want to play composed on this, let them just keep the AK, whatever, fine. I mean, it would be great for them to take it away, but man, what a weird round we saw from Galorys. Again, they just go for these one-on-one peeks, even the double players in elbow. I don't know what your thoughts were, but again, like I didn't see any flashes coming through. They just kind of went one by one in the smoke, and it's just a death trap, man.
They needed flashes. That was the biggest thing. There's a lot of flash lineups for middle, and you can get ahead a lot of them. Sure, you can get right in front of them. They won't full blind you as a defender. Still, I don't think we saw any flashes being thrown in for the peaks to come through. And as you mentioned, a very costly mistake because now when they have one saved AK, they did not get a bomb plant to help the economy heading into round number 16. And Solid are knocking on that door at this point. 3 rounds away from taking this first best of 1. Perhaps the band's coming back to bite Galorys. Now we talked about it, their dismal 4-15 record. Looking at the stats, we have some players kind of struggling. Hoax specifically is worrisome. He was one of that duo. It was Hoax and Koala I pointed to be the pair to really pull Galorys across the line, although everybody could do it individually. However, Hoax is at 4 and 10, bottom of the scoreboard next to Ninjas at 5 and 14. Scrappy investment as well. A lot riding on this. Galorys not taking a tactical pause heading into round number 16 in spite of it. 2 MAC-10s. We saw them have effect for Solid, but can they do the same?
Oh man, that's just awful. I mean, that's a good pickup here for Ninjas, but again, for Solid, that's a big sacrifice losing one of their big players right now. But LCM putting himself in a great position, does take one duel, but it's a cost of him being at 27. But now these Ts are getting themselves closer into the safe site, pushing the CTs back. They should be able to get the bomb down, but tons of utility still available right now for Solid. Flashes coming in. You also have the molly that's going to be available. CSO goes for the peak and does take down Detroit. Bit of a questionable one now. Koala sitting on the top corner here of this. Needs to be able to find something, but he takes some damage, but he gets the duel. Leading into a 3-on-2. Coming in for Solid. It's a swing coming in from Happ. He's been able to be clutch for these guys. Can he do it again? A Molotov just roasting alive, and Solid once again are just looking great and putting themselves in 11th round. 5 here from Galorys.
Very solid retake. That double flash bombing over the CT approach. Gets that first player dead to rights. Good coy swing from a player on low HP in back temple. Gets the dink onto the Galil player. There's no real chance he win an even 1-versus-1 duel given his HP for GBB. And then, of course, that last player in Donut, even if he won the first duel four-handedly, the bomb wasn't planted for him. It was going to be an uphill battle from start to finish. So, Galorys, their T-side post plant, caught off guard, and honestly, not the best of setups given that bomb plant position. Koala taken out of the round immediately by the op of LCM, only adding insult to injury, as Solid are looking to put a swift cap on this round and secure map point.
So much pressure right now for Galorys. They have to be able to find something in this, right? I mean, like you said, we're talking about map point. They've already lost 3 of their players. And LCM has put himself on the top of the server right now, sitting at 19 and 10. Just having a field day so far on Ancient. And Galorys now in a tough position. The T's spread apart from each other again, where they're going to have to retreat the bomb. They have it, or retrieve the bomb, sorry. And then that's even Happ again, just kind of, you know, clearing things out here on B ramp. But they got a minute to work with, but their utility is a bit lackluster. You got the molly, smoke, and 1 flash, and that's between the 2 of them. So, I mean, if we see Solid just kind of posting their positions, not being super aggro, this should be a round for them theoretically.
Yeah, and Solid, we know they hold their lines well on the CT side. We saw it on the pistol round. It should be no different. Holding their lines, holding their angles. They have a shoulder peek in towards Donut, expected by Detroit, but the shot does not land. Bomb will jump up catwalk. It's going to be a walk towards B, and Solid prepared to give this away, but Ale will get the information if they choose to cross.
Yeah, 20 seconds remaining too. I mean, this is a tough decision.
They're saving.
Yeah,
They're sitting in Jaguar. They have to be saving.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I was like, I think they're posted up on this. I think they're just doing a little bit of digging, some sightseeing a little bit. Xurebaa right now might be able to find something. Oh, this could be bad. Okay, no, decides not to. Decides, you know what? I'm not going to even entertain that idea. And okay, it is a save. Map point now for Team Solid. And a long road right now from Galorys, and we haven't even seen them call that timeout, which is pretty surprising. Like, they haven't had really good control of this since, like, we were at, like, a 5-5.
No, they
seem
had
pretty
some
confident.
questionable calls as well, like a Mac 10 investment, a double Mac 10, which almost worked out, all things considered, but still good to use a tactical timeout to really flesh out your strategy heading into a round like that. So a lot of concerns, especially given the fact that they have now lost 5 rounds in a row on this T side with nothing going in their favor.
Yeah, great position right now, like we said. Really solid fans. And now this is going to be a bit of desperation to see what Galorys is going to be able to bring through with this. The Mac 10 and a deal for 2 players. Not great. Ninjas is going to get taken out. And this is a really nice mid control that we see from Solid. This is a huge difference that we saw from Galorys. They only had 1 player on their CT side taking that mid control, but now we see the CTs putting 3. Now a full reset. Yeah, there's a little bit of a kill coming in favor for Galorys, but I don't think it's too much to stress about. The op is going to be technically removed on this one, but still going to be only 3 rifles here for the T side.
Yeah, one of them being a Galil as well. Compounds the issues. It's a very interesting koala. The player head and shoulders above the rest is only on a deagle. It's going to be a B split. 3 coming in towards cave. Potentially, no, it's going to be a 2-2. 2 in towards cave. 2 towards ramp. GBB and Sureba, both here to defend. Actually, it's a 3rd in CSO, holding towards mid. Ready in the back lines. The nades come through. Alright, commitment has to be yet. Here we go. Swing out caves at long last. Sureba is ready for it. Finding the first 20 seconds left. Time is out the essence. Swing comes in. Sureba a second. Hoax finally trades, but 20 seconds left to get that bomb down. They're leaving it down to the wire. CSO inching forward. Caught by Detroit. Hoax as well. Finds another. Both kills going unanswered. It's all on Ali's shoulders. 1v2. He's coming in. Detroit's going to swing it with the bomb on his back to get the information. That's big. The spam almost gets it done, but Ale does not realize it connected. Bomb plant down to dirt, and Ale, it's doable. Both are tagged. Again, that makes it all the more difficult. Spray transfer cannot connect. And Galorys, on the back of some very risky calls, do at long last put a round on the board on their T side.
And honestly, I feel like that's one of the rounds we see where, you know, we talked a lot about Solid and, well, no pun intended, how solid they've been playing. But I mean, that's where they've been composed. They don't overpeak. They, you know, they have a very good system in place. And I feel like that round was kind of that little blooper, right? Like they started peaking over aggressively. They started kind of, you know, making these mistakes that we haven't seen before. And just like that, they lost 2 players instantly. They lost the site. But again, it was a close one, and Ali almost had an opportunity there. Like you said, getting that spam on there too. I don't know what Detroit was thinking. I know he was trying to get some information, but man, that was so risky. And especially for the plant that he did too. He knew he was there. So again, some very questionable decisions, but either way, it's going to pan out for them to get themselves around. A timeout is going to be for Solid. So it's not even Galorys that call it. It's actually the winning team right now that's calling it.
Yeah. The economy's on the precipice. About to be broken. An MP9 for CSO. So players lacking head armor that could be exploited by Koala on the Galil. So much could have toppled that round for Galorys. That peek in towards cave, that spam immediately thereafter. Could have sealed their fate, could have consigned them to map number 2, which we had not revealed yet either. I think it's revealed on HLTV. Mirage, I'm going to spoil it. It is Mirage. It's the second.
Spoilers.
Still, Galorys cannot ride on victories like that. That's a very inconsistent. Again, playing with fire might not even do that situation justice. Tighten things up. Play together. Run a default. Solid are giving you space right now. They don't have the utility or the rifle advantage to take a lot of control. They're going to let you play your game. How are you going to play it? Slowly is the answer. Minute left. Detroit falling back, looking to go towards potentially cave, but a smoke forces their hand, forces their stay, I should say. Flashing towards the middle and towards donut. The op is there in LCM's hands. He's looking for a cross. Unfortunately, the smoke goes up at that precise moment. Still though, a 3-2. 2A, 3B. Mid-walk, Galorys, a split perhaps on the cards towards one of these two respective sites.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I actually like this. This is good control. If they can be able to find LCM, that's going to be a nice pickup. They're going to put this off, but he's posted. He knows, and he makes the connection. So it's going to be a trade back and forth, not against LCM necessarily, but back to the 4 and 4. Bomb's still in middle. Koala does find another player here. LCM gets himself another one. So now he's sitting himself at that double. Bomb's going to make its way into the A site. 9 seconds, though. They have to get this plant down, and quickly. He's going to try to deny something.
Oh!
What is Koala doing? He just jumps in the open air, and he gets taken out. So now this op has picked up 3. This is falling apart.
Falling
it's all
apart.
Down to Detroit.
It's the op to challenge the op. It's found GBB via trade, but still 2 to 5. They're from disparate angles. LCM is the one to find it, but even if he didn't, Ale on the flank would get the job done. Galorys, risky, flying by the seat of their pants, no clear direction in mind for their takes. And that is what cost them in the end. That last second cross, the last second plant, 2 rounds in a row. The second time around, it is not paying out in their favor. And so Team Solid take the victory in the first best of 1 of the evening, and only add to Galorys' dismal record on this map.
You know, look.